Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. We're gonna see, of course, what Bitcoin is doing today, and of course, under the circumstances of the war, we'll see, of course, what the price is going to do. Is it gonna continue toward the downside? I mean, you know, we cannot expect the crypto market to be, of course, very healthy during such situation right now. So after our bull run here finished wave 1, we currently, of course, looking for an wave 2. The wave 2 here, it has two possibilities, of course, whether we are in a regular flat, as we mentioned, A, B, and a C. We're looking at 3 ways down, we're looking for the 3 up, and of course 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish a wave C. Otherwise, we are very likely as well in a double 1, 2 wave 3 that it is still, of course, unfolding, looking for a 4 and a 5 here. And then, of course, a 4 and a 5, 4 and a 5, meaning very, very deep wave 2, that it might ends up here as a very sharp zigzag and, of course, very fast. Now, basically, based on the channeling here, taken, of course, from this 1, 2, in case really, if we are in a wave 3 there, that means, of course, the wave 3 has to break decisively, of course, the base channel. So far, the price is still ranging in and out, of course, as this base channel, meaning, of course, a range. That means, of course, corrective as well. And that means, of course, very likely to be in a triangle here for a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And the wave 5 might still be, very low, like getting lower prices, breaking the base channel, and finishing up here a 1, 2, 3. Then having 4 and a 5, 4 and a 5 to finish a wave A, and then wave B later on, and then, of course, finishing up with a wave C, which it is, very likely to reach the 25 and the 35K here. Within the wave A, we might reach the 35. After pushing up, of course, we might come back to the 60s here, and then pushing towards the 25K again for Bitcoin here as an ABC wave 2, and then pushing towards the upside. This is our deep correction that we might, of course, face in case, of course, we dive deeper there. Now, internally, if we see, of course, this regular flat, it has also two figures. And that means, of course, in case that we don't push for lower and things change here for Bitcoin and start to push for higher, we're going to see this on the micro. Of course, there is a possibility for it. Meaning, of course, 3 ways down, 3 ways up for a wave B here, that it can be a regular flat, or it can be an expanding flat, meaning the wave B is going to overshoot even the all-time high, and having a wave B expanding flat and then pushing for 1.618 here, coming back to the 0.38, and of course finishing a wave 2 over there. In case, of course, of a regular flat, then of course the wave C is gonna reach only the 1-to-1 fib level, and if you have realized, yes, they will come back both at the same price here, whether expanding flat or a regular flat. Both will come back, of course, to the same price, because this is a 1.618. This is a 1-to-1 fib level taken, of course, from different highs. Yeah, so at the end, of course, that will bring us to the same area, 0.38 fib level here, that it might reach a 1 and then wave 2 and then pushing for higher. This is our shallow bear market that we are expecting here for Bitcoin, especially after a wave 3 over 3. Don't forget that this is a wave 3 unfolding here as a 1, 2, 3, and once you start, of course, here the wave 3 of this 1 to 3, that means, of course, you are in a wave 3 over 3. This is the most impulsive and explosive wave that you might expect, of course, for Bitcoin, where Bitcoin normally makes only a shallow wave 2 before such a scenario. Now, in case the things will not play the same as per history, nobody knows. The history doesn't always repeat itself. It depends on the market psychology. I don't believe in history, honestly. So basically, I see, of course, also a possibility for a deeper correction, which it might be, of course, an ABC there, zigzag having double 1, 2, wave 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, and then, of course, wave V and a wave C toward the downside. In this case, of course, the blue box can be hit on time as well, within the 0.618. This is a perfection for the time, which it might be in July 2027, which it might take years, of course, to finish up this bear market, meaning, and then pushing for high. Now, the shallow the shallow wave can be, of course, finished before July. So you can see here the differences. The shallow one can be finished earlier, and then we push for higher. Also can be, of course, extending to the perfection, yeah, in July 2027. But also as a regular flat, it has also, yeah, a possibility to finish earlier. In expanding flat, it might take a little bit longer time. And of course, in a deeper zigzag, it might take even longer time than the expanding flat. So yeah, we'll see how this is going to unfold now for the wave, for the 2 hour chart here, the possibilities. Now currently, after this potential 1, 2, 3, very likely that we might be also in a triangle here. First possibility, which is also high possibility that it might be an A, B, C, D, and an E here, and pushing for lower potentially for Bitcoin. However, as I mentioned yesterday, I doubt this scenario at that, because of course the wave B is very, very long in time here, and you don't see this reflecting with the other waves here of a triangle. Normally a triangle should be somehow within the same, yeah, like the time should follow gradually, yeah. So we don't see this here, so very likely that this structure is a different structure, kind of like an A, B. Is it, of course, forming another structure as a wave C here? Can still have a possibility, of course, of a diagonal here in case that the things will push for higher as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ending diagonal there. It depends, of course, on the price there on the micro level, if it's gonna decide to push for higher from here, or if it's gonna, of course, continue toward the downside as double 1, 2. That means, of course, if you have double 1, 2 here, you might have finished definitely, of course, A, B, C, D, E, and then you have double 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5 towards the downside. But currently, I cannot confirm this yet. I still see, of course, a potential of an ending diagonal before breaking this this price here. You still can have, of course, a possibility of an ending diagonal. And that means, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 can still be very likely. That means, of course, ending diagonal of a wave C, A, B, and a C here, which is, of course, a longer wave 4, this wave 4. And then, of course, you're pushing for lower. I'm going to change the color for this because we have a color for this for the bullish. So this is a bearish. Yeah, so basically wave 4 in the magenta here, that it might, of course, push for lower there. Okay, so even this is a corrective wave. Yeah, unless, of course, the things will, yeah, play totally differently here, and it's going to play like a 1, 2 here. Then we're gonna be surprised with something very strong toward the upside, and then, of course, like an impulse, meaning A, B, C, and this, of course, can start to shift towards our regular flat. Yeah, so A, B, and a C here toward the downside. But you need, of course, an impulse here, because you need kind of like a zigzag. Yeah, zigzag wave B, and then, of course, pushing for wave C later on. So highest possibility right now on the lower time frame, well, it depends what's going to happen here exactly on the micro level, because it is a major decision. If we take this price, this is, of course, confirmation for lower, and that means, okay, we are pushing really low. Price here 65k. That means, of course, we're pushing really for lower. In case that the things push for higher again, well, you need, of course, this high over there, and that means, of course, also confirmation for higher prices. Why? Because this might transform to something as an impulse, and 1, 2, 3, don't forget, 5 ways up, 3 ways down, taking the high, meaning confirmation for something for higher. But we still have to be careful, because this higher prices might be, in this case, of course, wave 3, then 4, and then a 5, and finishing ending diagonal, and then pushing for lower. Unless, of course, things are going to change here, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, of course, for higher. And that means, of course, a shallow wave 2 for the bear market. That was it for Bitcoin today. Let's watch those price, those key level are very interesting, of course, for the next price action. Highest probability in conclusion, of course, still for lower prices in any case, by the way. So basically, you can continue from there, or it can continue from this wave C in case it unfolds yeah, for Bitcoin. Unless, of course, we break it for higher, we cannot think about something higher before breaking this 1-to-1 fib level, something as shallow wave 2 here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye-bye. Before you leave, make sure to join our private Discord community. There you will get daily updates faster than YouTube, plus exclusive bonus trading signals for the gold, silver, Bitcoin, and stocks. You can also request one special technical analysis every day and get access even to our only members video on YouTube and also on Discord. And stay ahead, of course, with economic and political news that actually moves the market. And of course, we do regular Q&A sessions, so you can get your questions answered directly in the Discord. And of course, if you're serious about leveling your trading, the Discord link is below in the description and in the comments. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.